So, first things first, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Yesterday was a crazy day, so yeah, I'm great.
Well, very good to hear. So, before we get into it, you just told me now that last year you were here as well, and that was your first official gig.
Yeah. Last year we played here at Eurosonic, and before that we kind of had a rehearsal gig before Christmas at my publisher's Christmas party. But that was basically it. So it was our second gig together with my band, and my third gig playing my own songs ever. So yeah, I guess it's been a long way. It's been a crazy year.
Well, let's start with the gig then. How did it go?
It went well, but now when I think about it, I have developed a lot, which is good. So I'm excited for tonight. So playing tonight, and yeah, I think it's going to be way better than last year.
So, you're developing a lot. So, if you look back at who you were last year, what would you say was the biggest improvement in terms of your music?
That's a hard question. Well, at least in live, I've developed a lot. Like playing live, also being way more comfortable on stage. Because I'm always nervous, but I was way more nervous back then. And I guess in general, just kind of little by little. Also, even if I had a vision when I started this whole thing, type or became an artist, but it always develops and becomes more and more clear for yourself. And little by little, you can also explain it to others, and somehow maybe people will understand what's happening in your head. So that's what I'm trying to practice. Also patient. Maybe I'm becoming a little more patient now. So
You say you had a vision and it's constantly developing. What is that vision right now?
Well, it's just my vision of how I want everything to be, how I want my music to sound, how I want my songs to be, how I like to write lyrics. I wrote a bit kind of different lyrics, maybe still a few years ago, and it all basically in all ways it just develops all the time. Also, how I want my videos to be and the visual parts and I guess last year was a lot about really focusing on production and how I want that to sound. So I guess it's getting there.
So when you start writing, do you have a sound in your mind or does that come later?
It depends. If I write alone, I sit at the piano and then it's more about a lyric or an idea I had or a chord progression. But then if I'm in a session and there's a producer that has, some ideas or some sounds, that's also very inspiring sometimes. So it might start from more of a sound or then from a lyrical idea. It depends.
And how much of an influence is your mood?
Well, definitely a lot. Probably the biggest influence.
Okay.
So if I'm feeling sad, I'm obviously writing sad songs. And if I'm feeling happy, I write a bit happier songs. But I have a tendency to somehow write sad songs, even if maybe that's kind of where it comes out, because I'm a bit of a lively and I'm happy person, I guess, for outside, but then the sad part goes to the music.
This might sound weird then, but does music make it easier to kind of deal with those kind of things?
100%. It's like therapy. It's definitely, and it's something I always have to do, and I always had to be creative. And when I found music, the way how that really is for me the best way to get out my feelings. And before that I was doing dancing and I was into acting and photography, and I always had the urge to create. So when I found music, it felt like really a thing that I get everything out there.
I'm sure it's not just one moment, but do you kind of remember when you discovered music and what kind of got you into it?
Well, definitely in a way. I discovered singing when I started taking singing lessons. Before that, I was in a choir and I sang really, I don't know. And then I discovered singing strong and with your heart. And I had a great singing teacher. That moment, I started practicing Adele's "Someone Like You," and because I wanted to get into a music high school, okay. And that was like, oh, okay, you can sing like this, and you can really, because also singing is a way of getting stuff out, also your feelings. Sure. So when you can sing loud, it also comes out in a different way. And then when I yeah, then I got a bit into writing, but I guess the moment when I really decided to go for this artist career was when I had been in Berlin for the first time writing with a few other writers, and I went home, I sat on the plane, and I was like, if this plane crashes, I really want those songs to come out. And I was like, this is my thing, like I really loved it, so I was so happy with the songs. So that moment was, I definitely remember that really well.
Is there one song out of that session that we can pick out?
Yeah, that's Flicker.
Okay.
So that was the song that was written. Also, Waves, that is by I'm singing it, but it's by a producer artist called Perto. So those songs were written during that weekend, and yeah.
So kind of describe that process and that feeling that it brought with you, because like you say, you're getting that creativity out of you, and then by the end of it, you're very proud of what you've done.
Yes.
So what was it like, kind of realizing that you could do that?
Well, it was. I don't know. I mean, it just felt really amazing to really have because when I was doing like photography or dancing, you don't have a what would I call it, a product, like a thing that you can then listen back to.
Right.
You don't have because I wasn't a professional dancer or a very great photographer, so I didn't have the same feeling that wow, this is like really good, that I'm really happy with the thing I just made, because yeah, it just felt like this is really good, that I could be really proud of myself in a very different way somehow. So that felt really amazing, yeah.
And musically, did you already know, even before you started that whole singing and those sessions, did you kind of know what type of music would attract you and where you wanted to go, or did that develop over time as well?
Well, to be honest, when I started, I feel like I knew, like without even knowing it, like it was like in my unconscious somewhere there in the back of my head, because in the end you just do whatever comes natural, and that's the best way of doing it. And of course, everything I had listened to since whenever I started listening to music really affected how I want my music to sound now. At some point I was thinking, oh, I should be like this, and then I was thinking, oh, I should be like that. But those songs are already like, I'm not going to use them, because those were songs where I thought of something, oh, this is how it's supposed to be. But then little by little I came back to that feeling, like for example Flicker, that was written in the first ever, it was my second session ever. And I kind of get back to that feeling. It has maybe a bit of a different production than I'm maybe going to have in the future, but the feeling is the thing, and that's the feeling I want to have in all of my music. And yeah, I maybe have lost it somewhere, your question.
No, but I get it. It's you're looking for a certain spontaneity, or you don't want to overthink what you're doing.
No, exactly, because it's just I realized that's how you're supposed to do it, and it is there. I just have to always trust it and listen to it.
And now, I mean, you live in Berlin, which is a very creative town.
Yeah.
And you said you kind of decided to go down this road, but being a musician, I've talked to many musicians, and it does require certain concessions, and you have to put a lot of work in.
Oh, yeah.
So what have you discovered about yourself kind of going down this career path and trying to be an artist?
Well, definitely, you really have to work hard, and also something that I discovered, I have to also be nice to myself, and be and take care of myself, which was something I thought it's easy. I thought it's way easier when I started, but then I realized this is really hard. So I need to start thinking about other parts also, not just like, oh, whatever, because it's hard.
Was there a moment where you kind of went, oh, this is a lot more than I expected?
Not a specific one, but last year, like the whole year, I was really looking. I've been really looking for how I should do this, because I know I want to, but it's a constant like finding how I make it, how I with my team and everybody make it work, and also for myself to not make myself crazy. Also with my own expectations and so on, pressure, all this.
So last question, because I think you have to leave.
Yeah.
But what are your expectations? What do you want out of kind of the next year? Because you had a very I think full year last year.
Yes.
What do you think about in terms of the next year?
Well, I'm trying not to have too many expectations about like how it all goes and where I get, but more like for myself, it's something I really want to finish my first album and make it really so I can really be happy with it and really be proud of myself. So that's, I guess, the number one thing. And yeah, I just really want to also develop as a person and how to deal with these things. Also, just have a bit less pressure on myself. so I guess those two are what I want from this new year.
Very last question, and maybe it's too early, but do you have an album title yet?
No, I had one, but I'm not sure, so I'm not going to say
Fair
it.
enough.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.